Alright guys, welcome to another video. I'm going to try to do a series of videos about my experience with the Porsche 911 GTS 991.1 after owning it for 2 years and just over 15,000 miles. I thought I would start out with things that I don't like about the GTS. I think in my channel you've heard me rave about this car, and I truly do love this car, and I still love it to this day. But I figured it would be helpful to talk about some criticisms of this car. So with that, let's proceed with things that I don't like about this GTS. All right guys, I'm trying to think of some criticisms for this GTS, and a couple of things come to mind. One is on the interior is the cup holders. They're beautifully designed and beautifully engineered. I love how they fold away nice and neatly in the dashboard here. There's no gaping holes for a cup, exposed here. It's all kind of flush into the dashboard panel here, which is great. And they kind of fold out like this. You have two of them, so you adjust them this way. But the criticism I have is they're very shallow. Notice there's not a lot of cup underneath here. So it's prone to tip over no matter how tight you clamp this clamp down. See, look at that. I'm going to take this turn. That's not safe. It'll spill for sure. So as beautifully made as they are, there's very limited functionality, at least with coffee this big. The other criticism I have is the front splitter. Front air dam is more aggressively designed for the GTS, which looks fantastic. I love the way it looks. And as you know, the GTS sits lower, but because that splitter, that front end sticks out much farther than a normal Carrera, it makes getting into certain steep angled driveways or speed bumps challenging. And you just have to be very aware of how far that sticks out, which creates a very low approach angle. So that's a criticism. I love the way it looks though. I wouldn't trade it in, but it's something to be aware of, and I guess that falls into a criticism. I noticed that the new version of the GTS, the 991.2s, have a black strip across the front of that splitter that's plastic. So I would imagine that that's much cheaper to replace if it gets scuffed up than my body colored splitter. So something to be aware of. Some people have complained about the number of buttons on the center console in other reports, and I don't agree with that complaint. So I know this is supposed to be me criticizing the car, but that's something I want to defend. To me, maybe it's because I'm used to this 911. I'm very familiar with where all of the controls and buttons are. I can almost, by feel, select what I want without taking my eyes off the road, because I know and have memorized where all of the buttons are and what they do. I like the look of all of these buttons. To me, it's not that complicated at all. While we're on the topic of this center console, the other criticism I have of this car is that it doesn't have the latest version of the Porsche management system. It has the old version, like I had in my 997.2 Carrera S. It had the same interface, the same capabilities back then, and that was a 2009 vehicle. And this is a 2015. So that's a criticism. It doesn't have the latest Apple CarPlay, it doesn't have your Google Maps, it doesn't have that nice interface that the modern 991.2 Carreras have. In 2015, when this car was new, this car should have had that kind of interface and that kind of software management. And it just doesn't. One other criticism I would say is this car comes with what I think are beautiful center lock wheels. So that makes wheel choice challenging. So if I wanted to do a spare set of wheels and tires for autocrossing or tracking or for winter use, it's a very expensive proposition to get another set of center lock wheels. So I don't have a spare set. So for the winter time, I have Porsche service put my winter tires on the same set of wheels that my summer tires are on, so my wheels are used all year round. The only other criticism I can think of really is just the price. This car costs a lot of money, brand new. It is worth your while to look for a certified pre-owned one if you want to get into a GTS. I really do strongly believe that the GTS is the sweet spot in the 911 range. For me, these criticisms are minor. It's a cup holder, it's being careful with the front splitter. Okay, it's the limited customization you have with the wheels, and the map interface is not very good here. You know, it's not intuitive like you would with your phone, pinch and zoom. But for the most part, you know, the Alcantara is great. It seems to be wearing well. The fit and finish of this car is amazing. Everything's no rattles or anything. The only thing that rattles in this car is this phone holder that I purchased from Amazon. It's not a Porsche product. So everything in here is quality made, and you know, very few things to criticize about it. All right guys, there you have it. As you can see, my complaints about this car are pretty minor. Really a fantastic car. So stay tuned for the next installment where I'm going to get into what it's been like driving, owning, living with this car for the last 2 years and 15,000 miles. So stay tuned for that. Look out for it. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can see the next installment. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Safe driving out there. I'll see you in the next one.